Hey, what's up everyone? It's Josh. We're coming to you live from the tree fort right here for AGL Disc, but we're going to be doing a special for Hot Stamp Studio and showing you guys a little bit on the behind the scenes of what we do when we're stamping. So I have the machine on. We don't have a stamp in there yet, so you guys are kind of seeing it start from scratch. We do have a couple of cameras in here, but right now this is the secret sauce. I'm just kidding. This is the poison. This is, what is it called again? I forget. It's anti-seize grease. So basically, my little screws that hold up the actual stamp, we want to make sure that they have just a little bit of that on there. And it is poison, or poisonous if it gets on your skin, so just got to be careful. So we're going to be doing a triple register stamp. Oops, I just saw something. I'm going to have to change a little bit. So I put a little bit of tape down here, folks. On the middle of the stamp that's not being covered by any of the design of the stamp, because sometimes the disc, when it's pushed down so hard and there's this much space, you'll actually have a little bit of the knuckle come up, and if it touches the metal, you'll see a little bit of the foil lay a spot down in the middle. So if you put tape down here beforehand, you'll counter that. Alright, so right now we got the anti-seize grease and we're gonna fish it up through the hole. And again, the machine's hot right now, so I have to be fairly quick about screwing this in so I don't get burned. That first one is nice because the first time that metal is cold. Every time after that it's going to be hot. So that's why we call them a hot change. And hot changes, we definitely want to be wearing gloves to make sure that we don't get burned. If I touch this brick up here, I would still get burned. Alright, so we're just screwing in the screws. Little boring part. We'll probably fast forward through some of this on the editing. Alright, so now we got our screws in. And we need a little bit of time for that to heat up. So what I typically do at this point is I get my foils ready. So, oh, that's right, we forgot. We put a little bit of tape over the corners. Now this is to cover where that screw head just went in, and that way we don't have a little screw head make a dimple mark with the foil. So I take a small piece of tape and I'm covering up just the corners where the screw head would go into the dovetail. This piece is called the dovetail. Alright, so the last one here, we got all four corners. Woo, hot, hot. Alright, so now we'll put our base plate on. And we make sure we line that up. Okay, so this is time when I'm actually waiting for the stamp to heat up right now. This is a great time to pick out your foils. I have a couple picked out already. Money and Wonder Bread always do really well. This one is a 3-layer, so we want some contrast and some gradient ones. So the rainbow always does really well. We'll probably go with like a Hollywood sunset. And then we'll probably go with a winter sunset as well. Again, the gradient, the changing of colors will work really well. And so we have to come up with 8. And then we're going to do one special gold on gold on gold one as well. That'll be a 1 of 1. So let's find a couple other good gradient ones. The beach towel works really well. So we got 4, 5, 6. We need a couple more. Let's do, how about let's do a dark blue leopard print. That might look good for that one. No, we need a little holographic. Let's go with a dark blue, the ocean foil. So that way we have some nice dark colors, and we also need a lighter color too. So a pink. How about we do the fuchsia glitter in the background. All right, so we got our 8 that we're going to go with, and our stamp should be heating up at this point, or heated up. And we need to get our little registration point set up. So what we're going to do is take a disc. This is going to be the one that's gold on gold on gold. We're going to put that on. I need to get the base here situated. You can see these 3 pieces move, and they actually will auto center the disc directly in the middle of where my stamp is going to be. So then I tighten those down. Now that disc is nice and firm in there, and so I need to create my registration point. We want to make sure that this point does not move, doesn't go anywhere, and so we're going to use a little bit of tape. So I'll put a piece down to kind of guide me, and then I'll take some duct tape, because the duct tape will hold a little bit stronger than the masking tape or the painter's tape. So I take a small piece to kind of get started. I line up exactly where I want it to go. I don't want it quite touching, I want it just before. And so once I line that up, I put my piece of tape down, kind of lock it into place with just a small one right off the bat. Then I go with a little bit more tape. Again, I'm just trying to press it down really nice and tight to lock it in. I'll take a couple thin pieces and go over at an angle on the front side. And then we'll take 2 small pieces and kind of lock it down from the face, making sure that there's really no chance for movement for this entire piece to go anywhere. Let's go like this. So get right there. Perfect. All right, now, because duct tape on cold metal sometimes comes up, painter's tape never really comes up, and this will lock everything down as kind of like a final seal. Won't go anywhere. So that's our registration point, okay? And you have to do that before you start your stack, because they all have to line up. And now we can't move that from this first stamp to the second stamp to the third stamp. And you guys are going to see how that works out. Hopefully no mistakes. All right, everyone, so our first camera had the audio and the audio went down, so we're going to be using this side one and doing a little audio commentary after the effect. And right now we're basically showing you how after the registration mark was done, we're starting to put the stamps on. We're figuring out that tester disc, the first disc that we do, and seeing if there's any issues, because sometimes there's going to be a little extra kissing where a piece of the stamp plate actually might touch some of the disc, and it leaves a little extra kiss of foil or a little extra mark, a strike mark, on the actual disc itself. So we need to fix that, putting a little piece of tape underneath to also press the support base upward, and it'll make it so that the rest of the stamp will come out clean. The rest of this is kind of chaotic because I'm figuring out what foil choices to use, and that's probably the most time-consuming part once you get it figured out with the stamp and your tester. So now it's just kind of lining up each disc with that mark on my registration point at the beginning or forward-facing part of the stamp plate there, where I have my little Allen wrench that I use for my registration point. So that's the indicator that I'm using to kind of line up each disc, and you can kind of see me here. I line up each disc, I put the foil on, and then I'll stamp it. I might have to adjust the air pressure if it's pushing too hard like I did just there, and back off just a little bit, so that way we're again not seeing any extra strike marks on the disc. So again, apologies about the camera going down. We just still have the side one running, but I wanted to do the audio commentary after the effect here so you guys could see and hear everything that we're doing. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate and leave those in the comments below, or don't hesitate to reach out via email, text, or whatever. All right, everyone, so we just finished up with the stamp number 1. We switched into stamp 2. We covered our screws, and now We have our disc kind of lined up again, ready to go. This is our kind of funky, wonky one that's really domey. We had a little bit of dropout, so we're going to use this as our first tester. Our pressure is still good. Time is still good. Heat is still good. We are going to do a little spotting, so to speak, here, where we put down barely a 1/10 of a second. We're going to put this down right on our support base. Well, it's probably good that our air compressor just went too, because ideally you want as much air in that thing as possible. Okay, so now we see where the second stamp is actually going to be on this, and from there, if we do any of these stamps on this first wonky one, we're going to be able to address the dropouts. Okay, so we're going to slide this first one in. This is kind of our tester. And with the Wonder Bread, we were going to be doing our second round, was going to be a fire. We need to go back to our full 1.2 here is where we're at. And let's see what happens. Actually, that looks really good. Even on the wonky one here. Heck yeah. Yeah, looks really good. Kind of see a little star pattern forming, or is that a tree? I don't even know, guys.
Kind of reminds me of a maple leaf almost.
We'll see what it is.
Canadian flag.
Yeah. This will be fun. Okay, so it looks good. Okay, so I'm actually feeling pretty good about that. Moving on to our second stage here. Okay, so these are all the Wonder Breads. Even though there's only 3 of them. That other one might be good. We might just put it on the website as an X-Out. Oh yeah, this is coming out great, guys. Coming out great. All right, everyone, so we're now on to the money foil. And so the money foil here, I think we had lined up for the second foil to be gold glitter stars. So these are going to be really fun. I know Zach Holt really likes the glitter, so we're going to make it all glittery for him. Just kidding. This is holographic money foil with holographic gold glitter stars. Awesome. That came out great. So we just finished up with the money. The money and the gold glitter is looking really good. And now we're heading on to the rainbow holographic stripes. And the color that we had for this one was a silver holographic moving parts. That'll look cool because it's a kind of circular motion behind this stage 1, and the stage 2 I think will look good moving with the hearts there. Yeah, that looks awesome. And the holographic plays off the rainbow. That looks really cool. My art teacher would be really proud that I'm starting to get better about picking out my foils combinations. All right, so this is the last one of the rainbow one. Those came out great. Now we're on to the Hollywood Sunset. Hollywood Sunset, we had the holographic Cocoa Pebbles. This one's really cool because it goes from kind of rainbow to gold to brown. I think this will be a nice backdrop for the Hollywood Sunset. Dirty. No, just go. Let's take a look at it. So this is Winter Sunset with the barf. I think that looks really good. Really good. Okay. So now we're going to do the rest of these with barf. Alright, now we're on the beach towel.
Never too many deaths.
We're pushing 30,000, I think, in here.
We're just getting barely started.
So this is going to be the pink tie-dye, I think it's called, or we called it. And this is going on the beach towel. And I think that looks really good. And so sometimes the thinner foils like this one will leave some extra goodies, and so you can kind of see it kind of rolling up right there. And so if we just put tape down, tape will only pick up what didn't stick. So if I saw a dropout after taping, it wasn't from me or the tape. It was from the stamp itself. So you can see what I just picked up right there. So that's why we do that from time to time. Some people don't, and you might get some of those little leftover frillies on your disc, and if you do, it's not us. Kidding.
Wasn't me, Dad.
I'm just kidding. I'm sure it has happened from time to time with us as well. I'm not perfect. I'm a human. So, but yeah, the thinner foils tend to do that. And so it's just nice and helpful for your customers, the throwers, the consumers, that, you know, they don't have that. What happens is if they actually rub it the other way, it can look like it's covering some of the foil. So see this little roll, if I push it that way, now there's like a little silver speck in there. And it looks like there is a dropout, but there's not. It's just the foil kind of rolled back over on itself. So you tape it up and it comes up. Okay, last one of the beach towel with the kind of pink tie-dye here. We got a few more to do, and then we'll switch it out to the number 3. So this is the holographic blue ocean pebbles, we call it. So we're going to put the tie-dye back. In this one, I went with the old classic pink crackle. It's the last one of the holographic ocean pebbles and the holographic pink crackle. Now we're on our last official color, which is the pink or fuchsia glitter stars. Holographic fuchsia glitter. Okay, we're going to put this pink crackle back, And now we're gonna go clean. I think the light blue, we just did a dark blue and a light pink. This is gonna be a dark pink and a light blue, kind of opposite. And we're just gonna go nice and clean with the holographic kind of aqua here. And I think this will look really good. There's a lot happening with the glitter, and this will kind of balance it out. So, yeah, I think that came out really good.
It did.
All right, so we'll breeze through these. All right, so now we're on our gold on gold, and so what we're going to do is the last layer is going to be the solid gold, because typically we would do a solid black. But what we need is another moving gold, not the moving hearts, but something that's going to break up those hearts. So Heartbreaker. Shout out to Andrew Hilla Phillips, and he always makes fun of me jokingly for hexagons. I used to call this, or I used to call it hieroglyphics though. But it is hexagons. And I first started calling it hieroglyphics. So that's one of those, like, I didn't know what was it?
Chartreuse?
Chartreuse. I didn't know what chartreuse was.
That one got me too, because I had a different disc that had both those colors, the green and the purple. So
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you're right. It is chartreuse.
Yep.
I don't know which one, but it's chartreuse.
All right. So now, folks, we are finished with the batch or stage 2. And this is going to be the part where we remove our support carefully. Sometimes the nipple there likes to come with it. All right, and now we're going to carefully remove the tape, and we're going to take out the stamp again, and we'll put in the stamp number 3, okay? We're going to do some special ones for the artist, which is Jasmine Bennett. They did not get stage 1. They only are getting stage 2 and 3. But that was because I'm an idiot. Not Jasmine's fault. All right, so we're going to take our first one that had a couple of little dropout holes. It was a little wonky. This one we're going to be our real tester here. And I'm fairly confident that the stage 3 stamp will work well. Especially when we're using black matte. The matte just really makes it pop. We're going to increase the time a little bit, just another 1/10 of a second, to make sure that it stays down. This is our final one. There's the most detail going on in this one, and matte foil is a little bit thicker and can actually adhere better at a higher temp or a longer time. So we're going to use that to our advantage right now. So this is the first one done. And we do have a little bit of dropout down here where it says spruce and the numbers. So, probably should have done this. Should have done this first. So we take our white, we're going to do our marking really quick. Now I know where the actual letters are on that spruce and the numbers. So we're going to take a smaller piece of tape. We are just going to cover those. Because it had some dropout, we're actually going to do 2. Okay. So we're going to take the same one that we just did, has a little bit of dropout on the S and some of the numbers. We're going to slap that back in there after we just put some tape down. And we're going to see if we can rectify this one, bring it back from oblivion. So we're going to get our black back, change our time back to what it was. Oops. Okay. And hopefully we can bring this one that was really bad, like I said, back. Hey! It's a little bit on the 5 still. That could have just been from the first one. So that's it, folks. First one, a little bit of dropout on some of the Wonder Bread, a little bit on that 5 right there. So I might put one more piece down over the spruce and the numbers. The rest of the black is coming out really, really nice. So this is going to be our X out one. We will indicate that special on the site. And we're going to do a couple on Jasmine's here. And if the spruce is giving me a trouble on the 5, then I definitely will add another piece of tape right there. Nope, the 5's looking good. The rest of the black is looking good. So there she goes. She's got some spruces special for her. Thinking maybe we'll give her a little fun with one different than black. She can get a smoke gray on the blue. Oh yeah, that looks cool with pink.
Oh yeah.
So she's going to get some special ones, guys, because she is the artist, and these 5 are very special, and so they're going to go to her and her alone. If she chooses to sell them or throw them, that is completely her decision. Pink with the blue there. Came out good. This is a different Wonder Bread on a glow spruce for her. Tundra Glow looks like. I think with the rain or the Wonder Bread we might just go black here. Alright, so looking good. Again, these are just some special ones for the artist. She's gonna get a gold on gold one. Will be fun for her. Okay, black back. Here's our gold. So she gets a gold on a purple. Yep. All right, now we're back to work. Let's get back to work. Well, since we have the gold there, we're going to just do our gold on gold one. So this is our famous triple gold stamp. We usually do only one of these per batch. And we usually send these over to the auction, so these will be available on the auction page. So there's 3 different types of metallic gold on that. All right, now we can bust out pretty much all of these are going to be, the 3rd stage here are going to be a matte black. So this was our X out one. We're going to just set aside so it doesn't get mixed up with all the good ones. And you guys can watch me breeze through these, because again, these are all going to be matte black. We're on the next one. We just finished up with the holographic money foil and the gold glitters, and now we're moving on to the holographic rainbow with the holographic silver moving hearts. Alright, now we're on to the Hollywood Sunset with the holographic Cocoa Pebbles. So now we're on to the winter sunset with the barf background and the black in the foreground. So yeah, that one came out great. Awesome job, Jasmine. We're just on the last little set here. This is the Fuchsia Glitter Stars and the Holographic Aqua. And yeah, I just want to say thank you guys again for sticking around. If you guys have any info or comments to chime in with, you know, please don't hesitate. Give us a like and subscribe. You know, all the common YouTube stuff. That really helps us out, so appreciate it. I'll show you guys the last couple here. We already did the gold on gold. We did the ones for Jasmine, the artist, and these will be available this coming Friday when we drop the rest of the spruces and the mags on our website, agldisc.com, and also follow us on Instagram if you guys want to see the latest drops and releases that we have going on. Last one here, right here, last one for the project. We only had one real issue, and we were able to fix it for a majority. That's all she wrote. I don't know how many stamps we did. What is that? Probably 150, give or take. And they're all done. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.